Hey,
Cool.
we've got a quote of the NHL playoffs from Toronto Maple Leafs coach Craig Berube. Is that how you say his name? Berube. Following their Game 5 loss to the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you do that if you have a fairly good idea that the Panthers are going to come just as hard as they did just now?
Oh.
Well, I don't think they came any harder than they have, to be honest with you. I think we let them come tonight. Well, we stood around and watched.
Yeah, some people do that. Some people prefer to stand around and watch cucks, they're called.
Yeah.
And cucks for pucks.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a new charity we've got. This is ice hockey. Obviously, Joe Jury is a massive ice hockey fan. Huge fan.
New Zealand,
he's a hundy.
Is there anyone in New Zealand who's a bigger hundy than him? Do you know anyone?
Yes, Logan Swinkles.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So there is one
he's mates
person.
with him, though. So they're one.
Yeah. As a couple, they'll be the Drew Swink. The Drew Swink?
Drew Swinky.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the thing is, the Drew Swinky, I saw them together. We took Swinkles because the other mainstream sports station were too cheap to buy him tickets to the ice hockey game in Vegas.
Yeah.
So we did. We bought him a ticket, and Swinkles came. He came with us, and it was like a little date. Him and Joe were so excited. They were like, they couldn't wipe their smiles off their faces, and Logan Keatling goes, "Oh, thank you so much, guys." He goes, "Yeah, you should say thank you. You fucking tight ass bosses."
Not even
the mainstream station.
Exactly. It
Sports
would
station?
have been good for them to experience something like that. A really good point of reference, and obviously a lifelong dream for one of your staff.
Yeah, totally.
You must know that he is Mr. Ice Hockey, part of the couple.
Yeah. So let's just say we've got a man on the inside.
Power couple. Yes, exactly.
We've definitely got a man on the inside. He's feeding us a lot of dirt now.
I know bugger all about ice hockey, but
Same.
But when it comes to Stanley Cup, I will watch, and I am aware of the Florida Panthers one because the only other the sports podcast that I listen to is the Dan Le Batard show, which is based in Florida. And
Is his name Dan Le Batard?
Le Batard. Okay. And he was on that highly questionable when he had his dad in the middle, Papi and stuff. He would be like,
"Hey, Papi.
LeBron, you're not the GOAT. It is Michael Jordan," like this sort of thing. And it was a weird show, but it was kind of like amusing. And now they do sports podcasting, radio and stuff. They've got really interesting people on there. But as soon as they've got a hockey show, as soon as it goes to a hockey show, I'm going, who are they talking about? Oh, God, I'm on the hockey show. So I have to...
Do you put it on?
Get out of... I haven't got the bandwidth to listen to hockey stuff.
Maybe you should put it on 1.5 speed, like that psychopath over there, Joe Jury.
Yeah.
He just listens to all his hockey podcasts like they're on speed.
Oh, right.
It's like... It's...
McDavid.
Yeah. No, they can't. Don't talk about him. They're allowed to talk about him because he's Putin. He's Putin's mate.
Oh,
yeah. So when he overtook the goal scoring of Gretzky's goal scoring,
and Gretzky was there.
Yeah, it didn't really get the attention it should have got in the US because everyone was a bit like, "No, he's a bit pooty. He's a bit pooty. He's Putin's favourite ice hockey player."
Oh, right.
So it got a bit to the side.
I mean, he can't help it if a murderous dictator has got an obsession with him.
Yeah, and he's
what are you going to say? Piss off?
Totally.
Probably not a good idea.
You can't ignore the poke when he comes into your DMs.
Yeah,
you at least got to go back with an emoji or a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. President, hope everything's all good. And then Vladimirs going, he likes me. I think he likes me.
Yeah, I'm hoping if Uni was discovered as a fan of the agenda or something like that people wouldn't,
if he's
take that as a reflection on us, more so maybe a reflection on Uni.
I reckon Kim Jong-un is definitely one of us because, first of all, you got a fat guy on here, so tick, he's in. We kind of don't give a fuck. We're pretty much self-sabotaging. We're pretty much blowing ourselves up every week. Tick. He's all about that.
That's one of his key values.
Yeah.
Bit of substance abuse. Yeah, tick. Okay.
Lies massively on his golf card. Tick.
Tick, yeah. That's it. He's one of us.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uni.
Yeah, Uni, get in touch with us. Slide into our DMs. And maybe, leave us a talk back, actually.
Oh, that would be a great yours, please.
That would be a great yours, please. Rightio, let's get into it. Got quite a lot to get through today, James McOnie.
Yes.
So, live from the Export Beer Garden Studios, this is the agenda for Friday, May the 16th.
Oh, yeah.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Right, from the sports rights desk, James McOnie. Got announced yesterday that Wimbledon, along with all the ATP Tour tournaments, are headed exclusively to ESPN and Disney Plus in New Zealand.
Oh, thanks for lobbing this grenade into the podcast, G Lane.
But look,
as someone who works for Sky.
No, but all I'm going to say...
I didn't think about that.
All I'm going to say is, to consume your sport this summer, you're going to need TVNZ Plus for cricket.
Yes.
Just for 1 year. You're going to need Sky Sport for the Ashes and the T20 World Cup, which is happening in January, February.
Gotcha.
And you're going to need Disney Plus for your tennis and DAZN for your boxing. So there you go. That's your sports watching for the summer right there.
For the summer. Well, that's okay. TVNZ Plus is free.
Yes.
Sky Sport is exceptional value. Like, you get a lot on Sky Sport.
Oh, I'm a subscriber, don't worry.
And then you've got Disney Plus. Well, I have Disney Plus, but is it... So all the stuff that you're watching at the moment, your Moanas, your... I'm talking about Moana, the movies.
Oh, not Moana.
No, not Moana Pacifica. Like, all the Disney movies that you can get, is the sport just immediately, or is that an add-on?
No, I think in New Zealand, I think sport it's straight in there. It's included.
It's included. Well, then
you're
I'm
sorted.
I'm already there.
You're sorted.
And DAZN, I mean...
You can go in and out of DAZN, can't you?
Yeah, the problem... Yeah, I'm definitely in and out of DAZN. Mainly the friend zone is where I mainly reside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sent all my kids to Friend Intermediate. Look, I think that the thing with boxing is that it feels like it's dwindling in popularity, and I know that there's probably ways that it's boosted. It's definitely got a global audience, but you look at what UFC's done. Like, I was watching Navajo Sterling last weekend fight. The Kiwi. Great name. Navajo. And he, it was an unbelievable fight. And you felt that pride of watching a Kiwi going out there going, yeah.
Well, you got Kaikata.
If there was a fight in a pub, Navajo would win. And we got, Kaikata. And
he's fighting for a title.
Yeah.
Is that just in NZ, though? Because we have that situation where we've got Kiwis involved with it at the moment. I listen a lot to Talk Sport in the UK, mainly for my football stuff. And the only time they'll go off football is for boxing. So, I mean, boxing might be big in some places, but are we just kind of caught up in UFC because it's just Kiwis involved?
I mean...
If Nika comes out and has a good fight, maybe we're in again.
But we are just... You're talking about, like, we've got David Nika and we've got Joseph Parker.
That's right.
And in the UK, because Tyson Fury and... there's
Joshua and all that.
Anthony Joshua. The whole thing is like they're in line to be BBC Sports Personality of the Year. They're massive, massive stars. So I can just feel that boxing is on the wane a little bit. There's there's not the same personalities. Like, even you go back 10 or 15 years, you could name like Floyd Mayweather, all those sorts of guys.
Household names.
We were into it, right? We were fully invested in all that stuff.
During the Tyson era and all that, it was. But I think that part of that is also the fact that UFC, all the content you get outside of the fight nights. Yeah. You get that UFC Academy or whatever, where those young guys beat the crap out of each other for a chance to all that content in and around it, all the YouTube stuff. That's the reason why it's kicking boxing's ass, because boxing's still just boxing on, no pun intended. You know what I mean? They're just the standard old kind of dukes up.
Well, what boxing had was people sort of smack talking their opponents, and UFC have put that on steroids as well, and they've totally bought into that. And so now boxing isn't the only show where someone shit talks the other guy, and so it's like, well, you haven't got that to yourself now, like it's everything's kind of been overtaken. Although I still think boxing, like my childhood memories of big sporting events, boxing, there's so many of those huge fights. I'm old as fuck, so I remember Tua. I remember Muhammad Ali fighting.
Do you?
Yeah. He fought in the late 70s and had last fight in the early 80s.
I remember watching George Foreman fight at the end of his career when he was in his 40s at that stage.
Oh, it was the comeback. Yeah, the comeback. George Foreman came back and did that, and obviously, like you say, the rise of David Tua was incredible, but then Tyson, crazy, wandering out with the black shorts, black shoes, and just a towel over his head, like no fanfare. A ripped towel from a hotel.
Yeah, and terrifying as well.
Yeah,
absolutely terrifying. I remember watching. Was it Lennox Lewis he fought? David Tua.
Yeah, David Tua fought Lennox Lewis, and Lennox Lewis just jabbed him out of the whole bout. Yeah.
I was a youngster at the Realm Hitaitai in Wellington watching that. I never forget that. Just watching him just get held off, donk, 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 like just held it off like that while Tua was just almost like a little brother.
Exactly. So boxing is a bit like all those major TV events back in the day. Miss Universe, Lorraine Downs. She was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still is.
She was
Deserves
hot.
a mention for sure.
Still is.
Everybody watched, Yeah. And I'm not saying everybody watched her. They just watched
TV.
when she won.
Oh, okay,
TV when
right,
they watched TV. And so it was just big TV events. That's what boxing relied on. And I just don't think they're the same amount of big TV events where everybody's watching the same thing.
Well, UFC do it just about every week.
Yeah.
There's a new not fight night. That's again, it's the consistency of UFC over boxing as well. And
that's right.
The negotiations of boxing are tedious anyway. But moving on.
Yeah,
to
it's good chat there.
Anyway, moving on. Foxy.
Bing, ding, 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 Foxy.
He is third equal currently at the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow. So with no practice, due to the fact that there has been lightning storms all throughout the week, bugger all practice, a 4-hour roadie, smashing some pizza, eating Snickers bars, a couple of bottles of red wine, and smashes 4 under to be placed third equal after the first round. God, I love Foxy.
It also
I
backs
can't
up.
express how much I love him.
It also backs up my theory that you perform better when you are hungover because you're not focusing on the sport you're playing. I think golf is like that. Cricket's another one. Where as if you can play hungover, a little bit parched, dehydrated. I think you can do things on the course that you didn't realise you're capable of.
And we're going to talk to Foxy next week, aren't we?
We are. Yeah.
We got in touch with him after his victory, and he said, "I'm just a bit under the pump, but I promise I'll chat to you next week." So we're going to get him on the podcast next week.
Well, that'll be lovely. And I was actually looking at their leaderboard this morning, and I just checked it now just to see if there's been much change. But I did notice that he's not surrounded by a whole lot of guns and famous people. Scotty Scheffler's a couple of shots behind, so okay, beware. But you're not looking at it going, oh, there's Schauffele, there's Rory, there's blah, 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 there's, Spieth or whatever. No, it's like...
Justin Thomas has shat the beard as well.
Yeah.
But
Luke Donald, how old's Luke Donald these days?
I know, we were talking about this morning. We goes, Luke Donald, wasn't he like awesome about 20 years ago?
Yeah, I felt like I went back a couple of decades because I remember him and Tiger battling it out a couple of times as well.
But he's up there. But
he's 47 years old.
Yeah, well, same as
Good
me.
on you, Luke Donald.
Same as me. Why don't I say he's been around forever?
So how many more rounds are there? 3.
Yeah. So we've got the cut. They got one more. Then they have the cut, and then we'll be looking at the last round on kind of Monday morning.
Oh shit! Yeah,
it's going to be so good. So I hope Foxy goes well there. But speaking of blast from the past, Jordan Spieth. If he wins the PGA Championship, he's got the career Grand Slam.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know that.
When Rory took ages, because he smashed his first 3 quite young as well, and waited, was it 18 years or some sort of thing?
Yeah.
And maybe it's an exaggeration. Is that just the lyrics from Gold Digger by Kanye West? 18 years. But anyway, there was... Spieth is one of those guys, I think we were talking about them, those sort of kind of nondescript, really good young golfers, and they all come along and you forget who the hell they are, next. It's like a Justin Thomas. Schauffele is kind of a bit like that too.
I always found Tony Finau to be a similar kind of vibe, but maybe I'm being harsh on him.
He hasn't gone on a hot streak, though. He hasn't gone on a hot streak.
Tony Finau is pretty much the closest thing. If we're not cheering for Foxy, we're cheering for Finau.
Oh,
right?
We should be, yeah.
Summer Penny, mate.
Absolutely. But because Jordan Spieth, 8 years ago, lined up at the PGA Championship. I think it might have been at Quail Hollow. Really, everyone was going, he's going to do the career Grand Slam. That was 8 years ago. And he hasn't won anything since.
Right.
He's gone none from 29 in the majors.
Right.
Since 2017. But an interesting quote, because there's apparently mixed feelings around old Quail Hollow, the golf course.
Yeah.
And a great quote from Hunter Mahan, who's a 6-time PGA Tour winner, probably similar to those other guys. Great name.
Yes.
He says, I guess you would say Quail Hollow is like a Kardashian.
Okay.
It's very modern, beautiful, and well kept, but it just lacks soul or character.
Oh, Hunter.
Right, okay.
Hunter.
The old compliment sandwich there, really.
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
was a compliment.
I was a bit worried for him there at one point. I thought he was going to say, you can't decide which hole is best or whatever.
Yeah.
I was really worried for Hunter, but he pulled it back in some ways.
Or shapely and, big hips and...
So many curves.
Yeah, so many curves. Hey, and
big bumps. I like big bumps and I cannot lie.
And Rory McIlroy, he won his first PGA title. at Quail Hollow Championship.
You made that sound like it was a news breaking.
I know, it is.
Latest in.
He was like, have you seen
I
footage?
think I've heard of him, and I know he's won
Have you
before.
seen footage of him when he won his first tournament? He's got like acne. He looks like a 16-year-old.
What are those
He's
great
got
necklaces that we were all running as kids that had the shark tooth on the end of it?
Yeah.
Those Hawaiian-style necklaces. He's got one of those on.
He's a tiny buff guy as well. Tiny buff guys are quite disconcerting because, you know, you look at him and he's got quite a good little chest on him and the shoulders and stuff. But then you see him sidle up beside his caddy and he's a wee man.
Not anymore.
They're lawyerish.
What do you mean?
What, you talking about Rory? He's pretty buff at the moment.
Yeah, he's buff.
I'm just
but in terms
saying
of
that.
height.
I'm talking about his height.
Oh, his height. I thought
he's
you
a
like a
buff
wee
little
man.
fella.
Oh,
He's
a little fella. So
yeah.
you're saying he's like Tom Latham?
Yeah.
It's
Like,
actually
is
not a
he
bad
Tom Latham
comparison.
type size?
Yeah.
There's a bit of a Tom Latham thing going on. But what I'm saying is like he's not a big guy. Like
a Bryson.
Like he's not. He doesn't need to be put up in business class. He'd be quite happy back there, and
With a sky couch.
yeah, he'd fit in any little seat. You know, you could. Yeah, so that's the thing. He's not a big unit, old Rory, and you could see it from apparently he was wearing a pounamu when he won the Masters because he was in New Zealand and somebody gifted it to him. So we were pretty much responsible for his slam.
We'll take that.
Slam.
We'll take that. All right, we'll take a quick break and we're going back. Got some a bit of cricket and a bit of America's Cup. Radio, James McOnie. Can we rename the America's Cup the Who Cares Cup?
Possibly. I mean, well, what have they done now? They've gone to Italy.
Going to Naples in 2027 to race the Who Cares Cup.
If they call it Stiff Naples, I'll watch it. Because I feel like it needs something.
A rebrand?
Yeah, a rebrand of some kind. Yeah.
So
but that's the only thing I would is like, Stiff Naples.
So Burling's been replaced by Nathan Outeridge, an Aussie.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a de-shrinker for Kiwi fans. They're kind of like, he's our man. But then Dalton's come out and said, look, hey, our ambition is to continually grow the audience of the America's Cup and the sport of sailing. Hence, we're going to Italy for the cash and the Who Cares Cup.
Yeah.
You care?
I noticed in the notes it says very noble of him. That's quite funny because all I know about Grant Dalton is that you don't want to piss him off. He's an angry little elf.
I know, but he's only in the world of sailing.
But,
you know what I mean? Like,
if
my spheres will never collide in the world of sailing.
But in the current climate of global warming, we better be nice to Grant Dalton because we're going to end up like Waterworld and he'll be Kevin Costner. So be nice to Grant Dalton is my advice to you, G Lane. The other thing I know about him is that he had a super yacht built, big catamaran built in China, and it was transported down here because I knew one of the guys who had to sort of help with the delivery of it. And I was thinking, after all that time sailing, why do you want to just buy another boat? Wouldn't you just buy somewhere in the hills and say, fuck that, I've done enough of that.
Yeah.
I know what's happening.
I don't want to see the
global,
ocean.
the sea level's rising. I'm in the mountains, bitch. Just do that.
Yeah, so what, 2027. So what, a couple of years away, Naples. I don't care about it.
What do you reckon?
I don't care about the Who Cares Cup anymore.
But maybe they don't care about us. That's what I'm realizing slowly, and it hurts to kind of come to terms with that.
It's a
but
business now, isn't it? Do you reckon it's just a business decision? It's just
5 million wounders down in the corner of the globe. Do they really care about what we think and what we have to say? I mean, compared to the European audience and stuff like that.
It's just business, isn't it? Is Peter Burling? Is he leaving Team New Zealand?
Yeah,
he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah.
See, to me, him and Chook together, but definitely Pete because he's so low key. Chook's a lovely man as well.
Good looking.
He's such a dreamboat. And then those two together, they were just like it was just everything embodied. Like Kiwi best mates,
Yeah, the dreamboat,
and this kind of
the
like
wingman.
Yeah, the wingman guy, but he was actually the one who could do the
most talent,
the most talented,
the leader, quiet leader versus the dreamboat. That's the Richie McCaw, Dan Carter.
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? Really, they are, and it was just together. It was amazing, and now that I feel that they've lost that, whoever Pete Burling is sailing for, and I never felt this way with Russell Coutts in Switzerland, but if Pete, especially if he chooses some nation that's got zero chance, like I'm thinking if he goes out there for Andorra, landlocked. No, I don't know, like for whoever
the Vatican City,
Liechtenstein,
the Vatican City.
I heard
the new Pope's a big yachting fan.
But yeah, like
Old Louis, whatever his name is.
who's he going to sort of represent? I'm interested.
Mexico?
I'm interested. Yeah,
Spain.
Guatemala.
Spain would be good, I think, because they don't go back anyway. Cricket-wise, also the confirmation we released this about maybe a month ago, saying that Baz is looking for a drinking buddy over in the English setup, in the English coaching setup, because he's now taken on the white ball team as well as the Test team.
Well, he's found the ultimate drinking buddy and golf buddy as well.
Yes, because the Sexy Camel, Tim Southey, has confirmed that he's going to be the specialist skills consultant. It's an interesting title, isn't it?
Yeah. What do they do?
So to clarify, there will be another bowling coach, another batting coach, another fielding coach, but he's coming in as a special skills coach.
And don't forget,
Like a Liam Neeson out of Taken?
Yeah.
I have a particular set of skills. Skills that make me a nightmare for someone like you. But
because you've got Jeets Patel. Jeets, is it Jeets? No.
I don't
Jeets
know.
is in there as a spin coach.
if you send me to the pub now, that'll be the end of it.
And
Otherwise, I will look for you. I will find you, and I will kill you.
there's some suggestions that all he'll do is stick on a tape of the 2015 Cricket World Cup in Wellington against England and just say, do that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he would be winding them up the whole time.
Oh,
Wouldn't
my
he?
God,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, Southey can't help it. He's going to be well behaved for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then he'll be putting cellophane on the toilets when they're going for a dump. It's like he's a prankster.
And it used to wind him up so much to see Baz coaching England. And it used to wind him up even more when Vittori was coaching Australia. I remember talking, he goes, look at that piece of shit. Look at him. And I'd see him, Vittori's there in his Australian tracks, and he goes, what a piece of shit. And then, lo and behold, Sexy Camel's like, looks quite good actually. I might go do that. Do these players just hate coaching New Zealand so much? Hesson's gone to Pakistan. Vittori's gone to Australia. Baz is in England. Tim Southey's gone over. Jeets is now over in England coaching England.
Flem in the IPL.
You know,
Lem in the IPL. What are we doing wrong?
I think you've...
Money?
Yeah, it's just money. Like the previous... why are you asking that question? We've just had a topic about the America's Cup, G Lane.
Can we do a whip around? Can we do a whip around?
No.
That's a good idea.
We could.
Like a GoFundMe.
But
Yeah.
in the end, who's got... I mean, Jeremy Wells might be able to contribute. Somebody looking around this room, you might, but...
Me?
Yeah, you're right. It's actually tough pickings in here.
Yeah, in this room in
financially.
particular.
What could you... I could...
Matt Heath's on that ZB money.
True.
Yeah, that's true. He could... I mean, I've just bought a new TV. I could donate my old TV.
That's a nice idea,
And
yeah.
soundbar. I'll give you the sound. I'll chuck the soundbar in as well.
I'll take that.
Samsung soundbar.
I'll tell you what, though. We just don't have the same money and we don't have the same calendar. So I think we've got one test match this year against Zimbabwe till the summer. So that's freaking crazy. Like, you know how you've talked about Virat Kohli retiring, I guess, earlier
Yeah,
this
the
week.
rat's gone, yeah.
But then that's Kane this time next year, right? Like at the end
Don't
of the...
say that. Don't say that.
They have to at some point, and you can tell Virat's going... I mean, your eyes go and all that sort of stuff, right? And your reflexes, but also the amount of maintenance or, practice required to stay really good at Test cricket is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whereas to be good at T20,
Well, look at Singh Dhoni's MS Dhoni's still playing.
Yeah, and he's 43.
40s. Yeah.
43. So, you could, like I said in T20, you could pretty much duct tape a cricket bat to a gentle Annie washing machine and spin cycle, and they've got a good chance of scoring a ton. They have.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good description.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
a good description.
they might nick out, but I reckon they, give them a couple overs to get their eye in, and I reckon that washing machine's going all the way.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back because we need to quickly look at Super Rugby this weekend. There's probably only one game that anyone's really interested in. Plus, James, we need to place our results multi for this weekend. Okay, this weekend is the only game of interest. Really, is Blues Moana, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
At home in Albany. Did you see that the grandstand sold out yesterday in
Wow.
Albany?
Wow.
So they've opened up a whole lot more seating. It's going to be their biggest home game, I think, potentially they've ever had, Moana Pacifica, and it's on the North Shore, ironically. So what do you... I so hope they get up, but they're rank outsiders at the moment.
Yeah, it feels like the Blues are sort of have solved a few problems in there. They're getting sorted. Caleb Clark-Dashian is back, actually.
Yes, I saw
so
that.
the Kawasaki is back. And, I mean, that gives them a bit of speed, a bit of elusiveness. Just on the way to the game, I mean.
Sweet.
But yeah,
Why is he not getting more shit about that? Are we the only ones giving him shit about that?
I don't know. But the thing is, I'm going to get slapped around the ears. I'm sure someone in the Clark household is a big ACC fan. You know, Ronnie must listen.
Yeah,
to this. Ronnie. But the thing is, they're looking pretty good. AJ Lamb back to the wing, which is where he belongs. To be honest, he was just filling in at 12 and doing a pretty good job. But he is an outstanding winger. So, yeah, I think probably Blues with a little bit too much firepower. Although having said that, if you look at old Moana Pacifica, there's no better forwards in the entire competition. Adi Savia and Miracle Whailangi, well, loose forwards it's called.
Yeah.
So there's been none better than them.
I think they just have to stay within striking distance of the Blues, I reckon, and to make that game one in which they can win. So, be within 4 points in the last 10 minutes or so, and seeing what they did last minute against who'd they score that last minute try against? The Charge down against the Highlanders. It was great to see, but they're paying $350 to win that one, and the Blues are like $127.
So are we going to touch that, or do we just go for Artie or Miracle to score a try?
Yeah, we could do that. How about both of them score tries?
Should we do that as
a try scorer multi then?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's going to anytime try scorer multi. Look in here.
I think Artie's definitely going to try and put the team on his back, and he'll be gunning for it. Miracle just can't help but score.
He always finds himself in the position, doesn't he? So we'll multi them up into that's paying $9.
So we don't have to put 100 on it. Just put whatever you see. What, 20 on it?
It's so refreshing to have a sensible man in the studio when it comes to
I've stuck the whole 100 on it.
Oh God!
Yeah, see, this is what we're dealing with.
You've got to put your nuts on the line. If you're going to do it, just put it on the line. Hey, we're commentating that game live on iHeartradio and Radio Hauraki, thanks to the legends at Maxraft. Plus tonight's game is the Hurricanes versus the Highlanders. I'm picking that's going to be pretty one-sided.
Canes all day.
They're at
Amateur
home.
Bay.
Yeah.
Canes, they've got Brett Cameron coming back, but I can't see a place for him in the team. I think Ruben might stay the distance at 10.
He has to.
Yeah, well, mainly because Callum Harkin is so good at 15. Like, Callum Harkin had a couple of speed wobbles, but his game against the Chiefs, he was elite.
Yeah.
Callum Harkin. He's pretty kind of like come up from club rugby, but I just can't see the point in upsetting the apple cart. They're going well. Ruben is probably going to make the All Blacks as a 10. And because Will Jordan's got the 15 jersey, he's out for 3 weeks or whatever. But I think old Ruben should just keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I think it's great having the love muscle in there, because it's like having Mackenzie at 10 and not at 15.
Totally.
He's just in the game more and has the ball in hand more, and that's what you need from your biggest game player.
And he likes to throw freaky as passes.
Yeah,
he's a freak show.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you, G Lane.
Yes.
Apart from Australia, which Oceania nation has the most golf, has won the most golf majors, and men's golf majors?
Fiji.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Vijay
Singh.
Vijay's got 3. So it's quite funny whenever I'm in a newsroom and everyone gets excited about, New Zealand winning a men's golf major or getting close. I go, well, Fiji's got 3.
Yeah.
Do they have a parade every single time? Do they, you know what I mean?
They probably did, actually.
Oh, they probably did.
Yeah. Apparently, he still pests around Dinnerell, hustling people for money. Vijay Singh.
Really?
Playing rounds. I should put some money on this one. And tourists come along and play
Oh,
Vijay Singh.
no, you don't. That is really. You can imagine when he tees off and it just disappears in the distance. Like, oh, God.
Fuck it hell.
Yeah, first drive, first hole. You're like,
shit. Fuck. You always do that when you tee off with someone. You're like, what does this guy like? And he stripes it down the middle when you get it. It's going to be a tough 18 holes. And that's when you just really tuck into the beers and just try and forget about it.
3 majors. Probably the greatest Oceania golfer when you think about it, because, I don't know, Greg Norman obviously was number 1 for a long time.
He choked, though, famously, didn't he, on his only
major? He choked a lot.
Vijay...
He won the Open.
Speaking of which, Vijay Singh, he won the PGA Championship that is currently on now. He's a former winner, so I think he's actually playing.
How much has Cammy Smith won? He had a good couple of years, but he didn't win a whole lot, did he?
Yeah, the Bogan. Yeah, no, he won the British Open.
Yeah.
He won the Claret Jug.
Okay, so he must be up there as well.
Yeah.
He's up there, yeah. There's
Adam Scott, he won the Masters.
Adam Scott did.
Yeah.
Jason Day, he won something.
Yeah, facts. He's good.
But I'm just thinking, with Vijay on 3, I think he's
ahead.
He's ahead, I think, of all those other lads.
What about Bob Charles, though? He got more? How many majors?
Greg Norman's got two British Opens. So, BJ.
Did Greg Norman win the British Open?
Twice, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. He just choked in America the whole time.
Oh, okay. Didn't like it. Didn't like it there.
Choked on the old dogs, on the corn dogs.
Okay. Last week also of the New Zealand's Next Top Commentator. We've talked about it. If you haven't entered already, text Max to 3236. You and a mate could be commentating the Super Rugby final in the studio next to James McOnie and I when the Chiefs Mana run all over the top of the Crusaders. Right, we've got to take a quick break because we've got quite a few yours pleases to get through next.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Rightio, we had some crackers this week, James McOnie, and they keep on coming in thick and fast.
Rightio.
You can send your own too. Just press the microphone button on your iHeartradio app. If you haven't got iHeartradio, you listen on Spotify or Apple. That doesn't matter. You can just download iHeart and send us a message. First up, yours, please.
Yeah, good morning, lads. Saturday, 5 p.m. Warriors v Dolphins. Fins down. Got a little bit of a song that'll get us through the week until kickoff. Who doesn't love a 5 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday? Look who lead us, alright. Look who lead us, he will lead. Can you hear the Dolphins cry?
Get him on the ACC. Who is that guy? It's just, local leader.
Yeah, the Dolphins cry bit was about the best part of it for me.
Well, it's building up to that. That's a song by Live, is it?
Maybe did he leave another one to finish the song? No, he didn't. Oh, he should have given himself
local
another
leader.
Should have given himself another 30 seconds. But thanks for that. But great to see the kickoff at 5 p.m. Not clashing with Super Rugby. I think that's purely by chance, not by anything else.
Do you know I've got the next 24 hours for me, fellas, is looking so good. No, I mean.
Oh, you got Auckland FC. What's the time's that? 3 o'clock tomorrow?
No, that's late tomorrow night, 9:30 or some shit like that.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's
so
late.
you got
So
Waz.
what a day it is tomorrow. I got a round of golf at 10:30 in the morning, by the way. So if that goes well, geez, anything's possible.
Hey, I was just thinking, obviously they've got a big watch party, don't they, outside Tyler Street?
Yeah, down at Britomart.
Britomart there tomorrow night for the Auckland FC versus Melbourne Victory. You're going to have quite a few rugby punters streaming into town as well, aren't you?
Yeah, it could be all on.
Could be all on. I mean, not that there will ever be anything like properly all on, but it'll be a lot going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be all on in the city this weekend. So you've got 5 p.m. You've got the Wires, and then you've got the Super Rugby, and then you've got Auckland FC. Anything on Sunday? Yeah, and then we've got fucking Formula 1 on Sunday, and then you've got Foxy and the golf all weekend as well.
You're missing a bit of a comedy show as well on Saturday night.
Yes, James McOnie.
Tell us all about it.
So,
I don't know.
are you?
Oh, you don't know?
Are you making your day?
Try and find the details.
Spirit of the game.
Where is it? Spirit of the game. Thanks,
game.
G Lane.
Spirit of the game. Tony Lyle is spearheading that one. You've got yourself. You got Chris Key. You got Paul Douglas.
Oh, geez, some high wattage in there.
Paul Douglas, great New Zealander. I got him along for a primary school charity auction night. To do some comedy. It was called the Arts and Laughs Festival.
So when you gave him that call, did he take that as a compliment or an insult when you said, "Hey, I've got a primary school fundraiser to
the year
that needs
before
some stand up"?
Year before, Di Henwood and Ben Hurley did it.
Oh, nice.
It's a paid gig. It wasn't free, but anyway, he went down the pedophilia route, which I thought was
Brave.
very brave of him.
Who did that?
No, that is
Paul Douglas. And
sounds like something you'd do.
And I went down really well, but at the end I was like, "Hey, you're a brave man coming to a primary school and going down the pedophilia route." But good on you. Well done, Paul.
Okay, so something to look forward to there.
So anyway, so Spirit of the Game, Saturday night. What time? How can you get tickets?
It doesn't actually. It's Q Theatre.
Yeah.
Does it have the time on the?
Jeez, you're a day away, McOnie. I've got to get this in the calendar for you.
So if you go to the New Zealand Comedy Festival website, search Spirit of the Game, then you can grab tickets to that. Do you know what format it is, James? Do you get up and is it like a groups thing?
I think it's PDF format.
No, PowerPoint?
Oh, we might be. I mean, PowerPoint feels like cheating. If someone's using PowerPoint, I'm crash tackling them.
Oh,
Chris, if Keezy gets out his freaking clicker,
mate, he will.
Put your clicker away,
He'll
Keezy.
definitely be on the clicker.
Oh, is it 9 o'clock? I can't see.
It'll be about 9. That sounds about the right time.
Tony
to do
Lyle.
That kind of thing.
Wait a second. He's texted me about it as well.
Okay, well, while you
He's
do
going
that,
to kill me for not knowing.
I know,
Play another thingy.
Okay, yours, please.
The worst take. of 2025. The Agenda podcast, 8th May 2025, has officially just eclipsed the 80th anniversary of World War II. Well done, lads. Marvellous episode. May have even touched on some sport. Hey, also, the description on Lundy packing down a league scrum, brilliant. Goes recommend, farts, lighting them on fire. Get a teammate or spotter. Safety first. Bless. Fuck South Canterbury.
I love it when we get a contributor that has just been banking up some things to touch on because he knows he's only got 30 seconds. He needs to fill up that 30 seconds with a lot of stuff.
That's a tight voice break, that guy.
There's so much in there. So where did we start?
I think he started with, it was the episode with Matt Heath, I think, where we talked about porn, how you should watch the regular, like the rules around watching Blue.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about any sport for about 35 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And then I've talked about my sons are obsessed with lighting farts at the moment. And
yeah.
Matt Heath's experience at lighting farts.
There's some allegations coming in, actually, that it's my fault that the ACC Agenda podcast is more adjacent sport than it has ever been.
I don't know.
I want to squish those down.
I don't know. If you listen to some stuff, it's been pretty consistent.
Okay,
this comedy show's on at 10:30. For fuck's sake.
10:30 at night.
Damn it.
What kind of zombies are going to be out at 10:30 at night?
Why did I agree to this?
So what I recommend you should do then, James, is go down and watch Mashy MC the Party Zone.
Mashy, I'll come and hang out with you, Mash.
Yep, he'll have his shirt off, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I will.
I announced that on Hodaki this morning that
okay.
the official supporters party down at Britomart, you're going to be shirtless.
Okay.
Because his favourite football club is Napoli. Anyway.
Or Brest.
Brest, yes.
Are we happy with that?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Next one. That was a great talkback, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, good one. Yours, please.
This is just a little thank you for the ACC team. I'm sure it can be a very thankless job at times, particularly with all the South Africans hassling G Lane at the moment.
You have no idea.
I was just having a panic attack, and I was like, fuck, what can pull me out of this? And I put on the agenda. And I've done that many times before, and I just thought you guys would like to know that fucking when I'm having a real bad day, you guys are what I think of to cheer me up. And yeah, keep doing your good work, boys. I wouldn't be here without you. Thanks, lads.
Yeah, what a heartfelt.
It's great to hear. Can we save that and play that to people who come at us off the long run up when we say something a little bit beyond the pale, when we overstep the mark, in the name of lols.
Yes,
that's all.
I know.
Can we play that to them and just go? What about this guy?
That should be on the button.
Yeah, there we go. Just go. This is also something, and it's only words. It's only words.
I must admit and I do it for the lols, and I did the South African rant for the lols. That is still coming back to me because I went to rugby practice last night, and one of the parents just came out and said, "I don't think you should come to East Coast Bays when we play them." I
don't think you should either.
And he goes,
unless you've got a camera with you, which we can arrange, right? I
was thinking of going in full disguise. Like the undercover boss.
We should go. We should hire some kind of sprinter van.
Yeah, the undercover
boss.
Out
there.
What you could do is you could wear a trench coat and then put like one of your sons on top, put Ralph up top, and then you just go, and then he could be the top of you, and you can look and watch the game, but he's a 6'10" tall, spectator.
Yeah, G Lane never misses a game. G Lane never misses a game. Where is he?
It's like Men in Black. It's like they're all.
You look through the trench coat.
Or what about what about getting like a maybe I could just do like continuous low flying of a Cessna over the East Coast Bays and catching the game and just
if that's in your budget, that's
that
also
might be
an
a bit
option.
triggering though.
No, what I like is whatever sort of disguise you wear. It'll get leaked to the East Coast Bays or Browns Bay Facebook group pretty quick, and there'll be an angry mob down there.
Oh yeah,
with their pitchforks and vuvuzelas, and they'll fucking bong you on the head, and it'll be all on. G Lane.
I've got a good mate, Luke, who's a member at East Coast Bays, and he said there's a lot of chatter. In the club, and I'm like, I'm not fucking going East Coast Bays.
When is the East Coast Bays fixture?
It's in a couple of weeks.
Okay, that's fantastic. There's enough time to organise that film crew and stuff. I think we should head out there. It's only right, G Lane. If you're going to say things like this, I'm only going to
do it if I'm going to go undercover boss with a bad, like a fake beard and wig.
Yeah, that's fine. I can organise some kind of costume for you.
Maybe I'll dress as a woman.
Please don't.
That'd be quite good. That they won't attack over.
Could you go as Despicable Me?
Gru.
That's a good idea.
What if I dressed up as like what's their favourite South African? I can't really go as Nelson Mandela, but That'd be controversial.
No.
What about Matt Damon in Invictus?
Oh, yeah, if I went as Francois Pienaar.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
Okay, we'll work that out.
Okay, yours, please. Next one.
Hey, mate. These South African, fucking great accent there. Parents and stuff like that. I believe the reason they have so much aggression at sport was because of Japan. Not during the war, but during the World Cup. Like, everyone just forgets about that time that they absolutely got diddled. Imagine the coaches watching that Japan game. Sacrifice!
I could only imagine. I mean, you see the footage of Rassie Erasmus. Have you seen the footage of him in the changing room?
Oh, yeah, he's impressive.
You must fuck them up. You must fuck them up. That's pretty much he says over and over again.
I know.
So.
It's. I mean, Rassie is kind of like the best of the old school and best of the new school as well. Like, he's kind of. There's something magical about that guy. Like, even at press conferences, he makes you feel like $1 million, Rassie. You can ask him the shittest question, he'll go into some big sort of deep dive of philosophy.
He's a mad scientist.
Theories, yeah, he's incredible.
He's got New Zealand's mad scientist with him, Tony Brown.
I know. That is the biggest coup is getting Tony Brown to join your coaching team because he is the best brain in the biz, and he's the one who comes up with new stuff. And so all the innovations now, so they've already got the anger and the brute strength, and probably a few substances when they're younger as well in some of those areas around there. Don't say that, G Lane, when you're over on the shore.
Oh, look, I did say on that original pod that maybe that's the reason why they're better at rugby with us. They've got more intensity, but that got cut out of any social media. So.
They've just used those clips
the hot takes.
But I mean, yeah, I love Rassie. I think he's just, I mean, the dancing videos as well. Like, he's just living his best life, and he's outsmarted everybody as well. The traffic light thing,
this crazy light thing, it's so funny.
But also, just having like, if you said to someone, oh yeah, I'm going to choose that little guy Cheslin Colby, he's 75 kgs, everyone would say, no, you just don't do that in international rugby. It doesn't work. Who is the best player in the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Frickin' Colby Cheese by miles. Yeah. Like, I mean, he just knows exactly what's going to work, and he's got enough of those giant humans to have little Quokka Smith come in, the Quokka Shocker, at the end to just snuffle up all the frickin' turnovers. He's a genius.
What do you say to rumours that light he's got, because he hypnotises his forwards, and that light is a signal for full rage? Have you heard that rumour?
Yeah, I mean,
so if they look up into the stand and if they see 3 flashes in the face, they kind of go,
they go, but look, there's so many cameras on the game, you can't really go full rage unless you're talking about a full rager. And I mean, that's a different thing.
It'll still be seen though, won't it? I suppose.
I mean, you'd think the TMO would pick up on it.
You'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
They got one job.
Yeah,
pick that up.
I think I'm seeing a full rager just down there. So stay with the on-field decision.
Can we get another? We're just getting another angle on that.
It's definitely coming.
Oh,
he's over.
He's
over. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, it's massive.
Right. Have we got one more or 2 more?
One more.
One more to go. One more. Last yours, please, for the week.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
So I couldn't figure out for the life of me why on earth the Warriors would be holding a home game in Brisbane against the Dolphins this weekend. So fired up ChatGPT. And apparently, this is an arrangement. It's part of the Warriors' strategic initiative to engage their substantial fan base in Australia, particularly Queensland. Now, I'm not sure about this one. Love to know your thoughts. Please.
I was talking to a former employee at the Warriors recently, and I asked him that same question. I said, why are they doing a home game? And he goes, that's a rumour. There's never a home game.
Yeah,
it's always been an away game. It's just some sort of rumor that's gone around that we've given up a home game to go play the Dolphins. He said it's not true. So I don't know.
So it's just an away game.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Where are we playing?
In like Dolphins in Brizzy.
I mean, it makes way more sense because I get that it is an away game, literally, and it always has been.
Yes, I think the confusion lies in the Magic Round. That was our home game.
Gotcha.
In Magic Round.
Yeah, but for some reason, I've heard everyone saying it this week that we're playing a home game away.
I've never much research into it, but I just took his word for it because he'd been working there for 10 years and he said, nah. It's not,
and also, forgive me, but the way that home games work is you play them in your stadium at home.
Yeah. Oh, no, they do go.
You do sometimes go to
fuck
Perth.
no, yeah, I take it back. You're right. I take it back.
You know, you can take and Christchurch or whatever, but the thing is, you can. Yeah, the Doggies did one in Wellington.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
But you can see the Dolphins every now and then play a big game in Suncorp if they think they're going to get the crowds. And, of course, Kiwis in Queensland, in Australia, they're everywhere. And it just shows how big a deal the Wars are, both sides of the Tasman. Because even in the Magic Round, I felt like the stands were freaking going off when the Wars played. Unbelievable.
Same in Vegas, I think, as well, wasn't it?
Well, it's kind of everyone's second favourite team, isn't it?
Fuck yeah.
It's like Moana Pacifica in Super Rugby. It's everyone's second favourite team. Sweet. Okay, well, that's it from the Yours Pleasers. James, good luck. Go break a leg on Saturday night. Get your tickets from New Zealand Comedy Festival. Spirit of the Game.
Spirit of the Game, 10:30 Saturday night at the Q Theatre.
So, is it a...
Chris Key.
Chris Key.
Ben Hurley.
Paul Douglas. Tony Lyle. Is it a panel thing? Do you all do it at once?
No, I think we get up there at different times.
Oh, okay.
And
so what's your theme?
A bit of a tight five.
What's your starting gag?
I haven't really written anything, so I'm going to be. And my laptop's sort of playing up as well. I'm not sure why. There's some sort of moaning coming out of it, but I know
what that is.
Yeah, you can fix it for me.
Yeah, I can sort that out.
Yeah, and so I need to do some serious writing between now and then.
Well, you go and do
24 hours.
You go do that,
or you just pull pin. I mean.
Hang out with you, Mashy.
Yeah, come down to me. Don't worry about the gig.
Tyler Street.
Tony's got it covered.
Watch some footy.
He'll go for 15 minutes if he needs to.
Yeah, that's really absolutely. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget commentaries
and Lana Walters
all weekend. And Lana Walters.
Yep.
All weekend, 7 p.m. on iHeartradio and Radio Hauraki. That's Hurricanes versus Highlanders tonight, and Moana versus the Blues tomorrow. See you later.
Shit.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.